Sometimes where you're working on the shop and hours will go by and the whole weekend isn't long enough, and then you got to go back to work and wait till the next weekend or the next night. My name is Jeff Wolf. I'm a program manager for Victory Motorcycles. The reason I like building bikes is when you do a production bike, you basically kind of go with, the bike has this theme, say a standard production model, and you got to stick with it, and we're going to build hundreds or thousands of them. When I look at a custom bike, you're only going to build one, and there's nothing else like it. So it's really taking the things you know with production motorcycles and just tweaking it to how you want it, and that's the fun part about it. There's certain aspects of the designs that I like and grab a little bit from each one of those, but many times it's nice to look and then close the books and then do your own thing, and that's kind of how I like building my bikes and my cars. I consider this bike, the class of bike, to be not necessarily a bobber, but I call it an old school chopper. I call it a 70s old school chopper. And instead of doing the smooth lines and everything's flowing and bright colors, I decided to go kind of retro. On this bike, the parts that I couldn't purchase the direct bolt on, I fabricated myself. Like these front mounts here, these are half-inch thick engine mounts just made out of aluminum, countersunk bolts, and my logo on there my brother designed for me. It's a skull with a mullet. There's a lot of times there's one little point about the bike that nobody knows, and you like to point it out. It's just a small Maltese cross. You park the bike, swing it a little bit, and it'll start swinging like a pendulum, and it's like perpetual motion. You just walk away, come back 10 minutes later, it's still going. So this is it right here, you just let it go. People look at it, how does it do that? I don't know, it just does. The fire comes out the exhaust here, dumping fuel off the fuel tank. I pull the trigger up here on the handlebar, and that starts a spark plug and dumps the fuel at the same time. This one is just direct dumping gas right into the exhaust, and so that's why you get such a big plume of fire. This thing will throw flames 12 feet, and my rat rod will drag the frame on the ground. It's just doing something that makes the crowd, grabs their attention. I built a rat rod about a year and a half ago. One of the designers had a magazine with rat rods, and I said, what the heck is this thing? And he's like, it's a rat rod. And I'm like, that's the coolest car I've ever seen. So I instantly went home, got on eBay, and bought a Model A, 1931 Model A pickup body, and for $600, and went and got that out of northern Minnesota, and that was the start of it. The most fun about the project is, I think, just being creative and having a passion. It kind of lights your whole life up. There's not enough time in the day. You're just looking forward to what's the next part I'm going to build, and I'm always thinking, what's the next step I can work on, and how can I make that part fit on the bike, and how can I make the theme blend in with what I'm doing? And it's kind of a 6 month to a year of happiness as you're going through a build.